Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside, back to the brewery editions of the episodes. Today we are in the GTA area at Longslice Brewing / the Aviary. Joining me today is Sebastian, John, and Jimmy.
Hello.
Hey. Thanks for hosting us today, guys. As you can see, we are socially distancing because it is a time of COVID, and we do want to be responsible adults. So guys, what's the beer story? What created Longslice and the Aviary?
Great question. No, we don't know, really. I think part of it was John and I were big homebrewers back in the day. Seb and I used to live together. John lived in South Korea for a while, so John was homebrewing there. I was brewing here, won some awards in like some brew competitions, and I think really mostly like the homebrew stuff just took over Seb and I's apartment, so Seb probably got pissed and was like, let's just start a brewery, I think. Yeah. Something like that, you know.
Sure, yeah. And the hybrid name, where does that kind of come from? Because the Aviary is the restaurant area, and then Longslice is the brewing, so. Yeah,
so we're actually partnered, so the restaurant side here that we're standing in is actually half Longslice, half owned by our sister bar, the Dock Ellis, which is in the west end of Toronto. And they're like a similar sports bar, famously named after Pittsburgh Pirate that pitched a no-hitter on acid. So we wanted ours to be a little more family-friendly, but still have that kind of baseball, sports bar theme to it.
Very cool. So you brought me out some delicious beers to try. What am I starting with here?
Well, if you go from the handle towards me, you got Hopsta La Vista IPA.
Okay.
So this is that's the first beer we ever brewed.
Okay.
It's 6.5%. It's an English-style IPA.
Okay.
So it's got a malty backbone to it, but it's also it's got some hops to it as well. A mix of American and British hops, so you get some herbliness to it. A little bit of the Cascade citrusy flavor, but like a deep malty backbone.
Very nice. 6.5, you said?
6.5. Yeah.
It doesn't taste like it.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, this would go good with like a burger or something, I find.
Yeah.
It's pretty tasty beer. I know you guys make burgers too. Last time I was here, when the world was open last Easter.
Oh yeah.
I came with my brother-in-law, and my father, and we had a burger and some beers, and it was like, yeah, this place is great. So, plus your beautiful location, so it's very, very nice here.
Yeah, burgers are pretty solid here, for sure. Mm-hmm. Should also mention Hopsta La Vista. Won a couple of gold medals, you know.
Very cool.
You can see the varnish stripped off from when we won it, from holding it so tight. That was I think our first year in operation. We won the gold medal, so we're super.
The cool thing about this one is it's also a tap handle.
You've got award-winning beer on your flag here, so
yeah,
awesome. So what were some roadblocks and difficulties you guys ran into creating Longslice and the Aviary?
I mean, I'm sure you get this a lot with probably everybody you ask, but like financially, like breweries are expensive, you know.
Yeah.
So that's like a pretty big roadblock. I know building this, like the actual physical bricks and mortar, there was a lot of like engineering logistics that kind of had to go into it. Over in the brewery side, like I mean, basically everywhere here, like beneath our feet is a parking garage, and so when you load up like a bunch of tanks full of liquid, that gets really heavy. And I guess in theory, like over time that would weaken the structure and could eventually like collapse the floor. So
especially have condos above you. That's the last thing I'm sure that the condo owners association wants.
Yeah, so, I don't think it would collapse the building, but it would definitely crush the cars that are below.
The floors would just be like, just open up. And,
so basically all of the tanks, like if you go down to the parking garage, you'll see like steel I-beams that like are custom, like running between the pillars in the building and reinforcing like the feet of each tank.
And the cost was on you guys, obviously, wanting to create the brewery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's worth it in the end, though, because you have a beautiful brew house from what I can see. So
yeah, thanks.
Thousands upon thousands of liters of beer.
Many thousands.
Many thousands of liters of beer. So Longslice, where'd you guys come up with that name?
You know.
That's I get asked that a lot, and I don't know. It was off of a bucket of pickles. They were like the hamburger style long slice pickles. I just thought it sounded like a fun name. We started calling like our home brewery that, and then I mean I was trying to convince these guys to not call the commercial brewery that, but they liked the name, so you know.
It rolls off the tongue.
It's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs doesn't mean anything. It just sounds vaguely like Dutch, I think. I don't know.
Plus, I'm sure after all the Googling, you're like, okay, nobody else is named Longslice, let's do it.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
We did it, like with our our first logo. There was like a felling saw on it, so it kind of you're like, oh, long slice. You know, it's a long saw. It's a long slice, but. I don't know. We just dropped that up from the logo. Now it literally doesn't make sense. You're like Long Slice Brewery.
Yeah. You need just that flat pickle on there.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we should make a pickle slice our logo. So.
You have some very unique names. You know, Puns and Gozas, Aloha, the IPA. Where do those names come from?
Well, like I think, like we all like usually just brainstorm. Like we won't come up with them in a day. We'll usually just like throw names at each other for a while until we just like something. Hopsta La Vista was actually somebody I was working with, because that was actually a homebrew recipe from like way back in the day. So that was actually somebody I was working with that we were like, you know, it's coming up with hop puns. And we were talking about Terminator, and she's like, like rolling her eyes, like, oh, you're gonna like call your beer like Hopsta La Vista or something. I'm like, well, I am now. So.
Yeah, that's great. I love puns, so it works.
Yeah.
Usually, probably 300-400 million different beers that have existed over time. So try and come up with something original that's gonna catch.
Yeah. If you go on Untappd and you look at, there's like 100 of every single one of these beers names. There's 100 of them. So,
yeah, I've personally, I'm very like, if I ever start a brewery, I'm gonna If I ever
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Awesome. What's beer number 2 I'm trying here?
That's the Loose Lips Lager. I'll let John talk about it. He's the brewmaster, so
So
it's your recipe as well. So.
Yeah. It's a Vienna style lager, so it's brewed with mostly Vienna malts. Homebrewed this one a lot. Like Vienna malt is actually my favorite malt. It's when you start brewing, it smells like you're baking bread.
I love that smell. Whenever I walk into a brewery and it just wafts.
Yeah. When you're mashing in the morning, sometimes people will come downstairs when they're in the office and they're just like, it smells great in here. Yeah. But yeah, so it's mostly Vienna malt, so it's give that a little bit more of a malty flavor, but not too malty. It's like the difference between white bread and toast.
Okay.
It's that toasted malt. It's it's a lager too, so it's smooth.
Percentage on this?
5%. Okay.
Yeah, it's very smooth. It's got that right level of maltiness I like in my lagers, but that's my personal palate. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but I always try and get a lager whenever I go to a brewery. Because there's just such a pain in the butt to nail that if you nail it, you shouldn't have that much difficulty nailing an IPA or a stout or anything like that. So very clean, very tasty, super crushable.
Oh, yeah.
I could, and it's in cans, which is great. And you guys are next to Lake Ontario, so just come on by, grab some beers, and head over to the beach when you can. Obviously.
Responsibly.
Yeah. No groups larger than 10.
For now. The labeling style and the design, where do those come from?
That's Jimmy, actually. He does all of that.
Yes, I do all the label designs, you know, for better or worse. It's been happy with these ones, but, you know, it's been a learning curve. But, I don't know. Try to, you know, in the same way that we come up with funny names, like try to have, like, fun, colorful labels and stuff that, you know, that match the brands.
Stuff that pops, basically, if somebody, like, I have weird beer buying habits, and like, okay, today I'm just going to buy ales and lagers. Okay, today I'm going to pick up anything that has a cool design. So do you find that helps? Is the nicer the design, somebody will kind of gravitate towards it?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
We hope so.
That's the plan, but for sure. I mean, most of them like try to like go with a theme as well, like if, like Aloha, well, we'll get to Aloha Friday in a sec, but for instance, it's got like a little, like, tropical island on it, you know, it's called Aloha. Like, you want to kind of go in that direction. You know, Puns and Gozes has a skull on it. Cause
it looks like a Mexican Day of the Dead skull from what I quickly saw.
Or like the cover of Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses, you know. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you mentioned the next beer I'm going to be trying, the Aloha.
It's the Aloha Friday, yeah.
It's a main ingredient, well, other than water, malt, and hops, is hibiscus.
Oh.
It's not the main ingredient, but if you eliminate the 3 main ingredients, it's
You're going slightly past the German purity laws.
Germans would scoff at it.
What's the percentage on this?
It's 4.9.
Wow.
So it's a light boy. I mean, 0.1% less than the previous one, but
another super like could easily down these. It's got that hibiscus is not overpowering in any way,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very, very well balanced. Very, very good beer as well.
Yeah, I think with this one we were trying to go for like we had like an American Pale Ale meets like Tahiti Treat, like the hibiscus. It's a flower, but it gives like a nice fruitiness to it without being like sweet. So it's like it's very dry and like and quaffable, but like
a little bit tangy too. It's a
Yeah, now that you mentioned, I'm getting kind of on the back of my palate the tang. It's
Yeah.
very, very nice beer.
yeah.
Super great beers, especially these two. Super crushable so far.
Nice.
Totally beach beers when it's safe, or sitting down watching a Jays game or a Canadians game. Yeah, these are like perfect sports beers. I find the guys kind of get together, have a few beers, watch a sporting event. So very good.
I think, I mean, as far as our entire lineup, we haven't, like, Hopsta is really the highest alcohol we've ever gotten, 6.5%. And we have the stout as well, but those are kind of like our two, like, malty beers. Like, other than that, all of our beers are, like, we tend to skew just to, like, super, like, lighter tasting, like, crushable beers, because I think that's just what we like to drink, you know? So
you won't be coming out with the 15% IPAs anytime soon.
It's just not for me, man. I'm going to have one of those and I'm going to take a nap. You know?
Yeah, I had a double IPA night a couple of weeks ago. I had 3 double IPAs and then triple, and I'm like, time to sleep on my floor. Yeah. But you're sticking with crushable, and it seems to be your style, which you guys stick to, which is fantastic. It's go with the flow kind of thing, and it's great. So, you mentioned you guys homebrewed originally. What were some of the first homebrews you guys made?
The very first one, it was when I was 16 years old. It was a Cooper's kit. Remember Cooper's kits?
I barely.
They're just like these things of like malt extract. You pour it in water. Basically, they sell it as it's $15 for 4 2-4s of beer.
Yeah.
And so
they're from Australia. They're from Cooper's Brewery in Australia. They're just like it's like liquid malt extract,
Yeah.
but they're like some of them are pre-hopped, so you don't even have to add hops. You just like literally, it's like add water, sprinkle yeast in,
a bag of corn sugar.
Yeah.
So it's
Just put it in the fridge for 2 weeks and.
not even. You leave it in the sun sometimes. It just go. It was some of the worst beer we've ever made, but we're 16 and
nothing
drank it
against
anyways.
Cooper's Brewery. They're great. They make
they're
amazing beer, but like it's really on us at that point for using add water,
especially when you're younger and you're looking for cheaper beers.
And there wasn't like really craft beer in the same way that there is now. Like for sure that like craft beer existed, but like it wasn't like everywhere. Like you had to like look for it, you know.
It was the bucket beer crave like back then. Like everybody drinking Lakeport and Lucky's.
Yeah, we actually tried the no-name bucket beer on the show, and we're like, it's a beer.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Nothing special about it. It's a beer. So.
They nailed that. That's what exactly what they're going for, right? So,
yeah, sometimes you just want a beer, though.
And the first guys you released kind of commercially to everybody, what was that first beer?
Commercially, it was Hopsta La Vista.
Okay.
Yeah, which came from like homebrewing. Like, there's always like steps to it where like, you know, you're using like malt extract to make beers, and then you're like, you know, like I don't think anyone could do this without the internet. The internet has been like a learning thing, you know, especially back in the day. But you can watch 100 YouTube videos on like how to build a mash tun, how to do this, so you can level up at certain, you know, increments. And
I'm personally looking into the guy just does meads. And I feel like that is probably perfect because it's not as much cleaning as brewing a beer, so it's a little less work, and I'm pretty lazy sometimes. Cleaning is just a pain in the butt.
But you gotta have patience, right? You're like,
mead's tricky.
Yeah.
I've brewed mead at home too, and it takes a long time, and also it's so cloyingly like sweet, which I like. But there's a meadery here in Toronto, like Royal Canadian Mead, I think.
Yeah, I understand they contract. They contract somebody else. But
absolutely, But I mean, they've done a good job of making it like more mellow,
crushable.
More quaffable. It's not super thick, but
Yeah, we actually spoke with them at the Ottawa Beer Festival back in March before the world shut down. So.
Just right before.
Yeah, right before the world shut down. So I know you guys have guest taps. You used to have more, but now you have a lot more of your own beers. You have guest taps, but collabs. Have you guys done any collaborations?
We have, yeah.
A
couple of them actually. Okay. We've because there was a good year. The bar was open, but the brewery was still, you know, getting commissioned and stuff. So did a couple. We did with Seltzer Street. You guys, they're just around the corner. Did like a hibiscus blueberry sour. It's pretty good. Yeah, it was nice. And then recently, like in February, we did one with Woodhouse.
Okay.
Yeah. It was raspberry sour. You know, so it was a yeah.
Was there hibiscus in it too?
Uh,
Yeah.
maybe actually.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any dream collabs? Anybody just down the street, or I mean, the GTA? There's like 60 breweries now.
Oh yeah, it's another collab. I also did. I forget. I did one with Mill Street, literally just down the road. We did a.
Before they got bought by a.
No.
This is after, but they're like the closest brewery. They're literally down the street from us.
If that condo didn't go up, you could see it. You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you guys are in a very area that's developing a lot, so that's definitely going to get you guys a good draw, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Especially downtown condos in Toronto can't be cheap in any way I can't picture. So obviously you have money to buy that. You have no problem coming here, enjoying a few tasty craft beers, and having a good burger along with it. So if you're out here, swing on by. It's literally walking distance from what I've seen, at least 15 condo complexes. So
Yeah.
that's great.
So
Awesome. So any dream collabs? Anybody? Toronto, Ontario, Quebec, Canada, the world even? Any dream collabs?
I don't even know.
Yeah, there's so many people.
Anybody hits me up, you know, I'm willing to talk about it. It's
yeah. I mean, I think like in general, we like the people we have worked with are similar sized breweries. You know, we're not well, except for Mill Street, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, but
I mean, technically, the brew house there is slightly smaller than this brew house here.
Yeah,
so you know, that's,
but
awesome.
Yeah.
So for brewers watching, get in touch with these guys and make a beer.
Yeah.
So come on down to Toronto or wherever, and you guys make a beer. Awesome. What's this last one I'm going to be trying here?
that's the cherry Sploosh craft seltzer.
technically beer.
It's sort of technically beer.
I mean, by all the new Canadian definition of beer, it fits the category.
Cherry blast right through my olfactory.
It's legally beer.
If you've ever had a LaCroix or a White Claw or something, this is our attempt at sort of that.
So it's actually a fermented beverage. It's not like one of those ones where you get water and add ethanol and flavor. This is it's a fermented beverage.
Yeah.
The smell is beautiful. I love cherries, and it's just that maraschino cherry smell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
What's the alcohol percentage on this?
4.5.
Another super drinkable beer.
Yeah. It sneaks up on you too.
I do find a lot of craft brewers are starting to do either seltzers or sodas even.
Oh yeah.
Is that in your future? You see you guys making a soda so that the 5-year-old could drink a beer with his dad.
Yeah. We actually used to. John actually used to do that. We'd make it in the kitchen. And just like have like a corny keg, like corny kegs are like the little soda kegs or whatever.
Well, the homebrewers know.
Yeah, homebrewers know. Yeah. We'd put it on tap and we'd have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I made pop. It's fun, but now that the brewery's open, I really don't have time to take half a day to make like 20 liters of pop.
Yeah.
So
still, it's you guys are diversifying, which is great. You see kind of where the market is going on top of that, so just stay up to date with it and keep moving, keep chugging forward.
Yeah.
It's fantastic that I haven't seen anybody kind of have to shut down because of COVID. I've seen people have to delay their openings. But I haven't seen anybody like, we're at a business, sorry, we can't. I've seen bars shut down, but those are bars, These are places that need 100 people, where you guys are thankfully the LCBO with quite a few of your beers and other beer locations.
Beer store as well, and grocery. So.
And then you guys do online orders for pickup and stuff like that right now?
Yep. Yeah, we actually do home deliveries 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Next day, so it's not like pizza.
Yeah.
But,
you guys are so lucky. We're not allowed that in Quebec right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so frustrating. As a craft beer person, that is the most defeating thing. It's just watching my friends in Ottawa or even just Lancaster, which is right next, and be like, yeah, here's my beer. I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. So once it's safe to travel again, once you're willing to go into a cylindrical tube with 100 people with recycled air, beer vacation that you'd like to go on?
Jeez, I mean, I've been to Belgium when I was in my 20s, and I drank a lot of beer, but I had maybe a less of an appreciation of it. But I think, I know John mentioned this before, but going to Germany would be good because of I don't know, they just have the clean, crisp, the quaffable beers,
What do they call it? The crispy boys.
Yeah.
Crispy boys.
Well, they do have the purity law that they have to follow, right? So.
Right. But, I mean, they also have, Rauk beers and, all these other kinds of, styles. But, I just want a big Bavarian jug of beer.
Just that 1 liter Stein.
Yeah, exactly.
Seb, yourself?
I mean, I've been to Portland.
Okay.
And I had a great time there. and I feel like I scratched the surface when it came to breweries. I'd love to go back there and I don't know, just travel around.
Anywhere else in the U.S. maybe when we can safely travel there?
I mean, I love Detroit as well, but like I don't know, brewery wise, if that's like the hot spot for brew. I mean, in the States, there's lots of hot spots for
Grand
breweries,
Rapids is pretty big from what I understand in Detroit, in Michigan. Have you guys ever been to Vermont? Any of those breweries or?
You know, I haven't traveled around this. We've been mostly doing this for the last 6 years, so we haven't had a lot of time to travel. But yeah, I would love to
one day
post COVID.
Somebody comes along, has all your tasty beers. Any friends in the area you suggest they go visit next?
I think the East End, we're starting to get enough breweries that you could walk. You can go to like 5 through walking. Like, you know, if you start at, you know, Mill Street, come here and then go up Queen East. You can hit up eastbound, then you go that side street, do Seltzer, then Radical Road.
Avalon's in the East End now?
Oh, yeah.
Black Lab.
Oh, Black Lab, yeah. That's
Black
just
Lab.
at Leslie.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, I think, are going to Rorschach tomorrow as well?
Yeah, the Rorschach interview will be out after you guys. So.
Right, okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Godspeed.
Man,
Godspeed.
there's so many now.
We've heard about Godspeed,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, I mean, you guys have it so good right now in the GTA and Ottawa. You guys are just crushing craft beer in the 2 major Ontario cities when you think about it. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic. And there's beer abound, and I say, 1, support local, especially right now. 2, you might not drink craft beer, but you have somebody in your life who drinks craft beer, so buy craft beer for them. Look at your fans, look at the labels, and be like, I think they'll like this. So just go support local, support Canadian on top of that right now, because we have to rebound from this. So.
Yeah.
For sure.
What's next for the Longslice brand?
Like as far as like new beers coming out, or
new
just
beers,
in general, like
maybe another brew pub somewhere, stuff like that.
Well, hopefully, we're gonna buy a country soon with all the money we make.
I don't know. I feel like Seb maybe can field this one.
Man, I mean, like, well, step 1 is just to kind of get this place settled in a bit. I mean, we just had our 1-year anniversary for the brewery side of it, so we've been brewing for about a year now out of here, which is great. But still relatively new. We've been contracting for 6 years, but I think the next step after this is to get our own like production facility somewhere not in the GTA core.
Okay.
Somewhere where we can afford a larger space and brew on a larger scale.
My dream is to have a forklift, so I don't have to physically, like every time I double stack kegs, I got to
You have to lift them up,
I
man.
literally do that every week. It's
lifting tons of beer.
Yeah.
You guys just said you had your 1 year, any like 2 year, like, oh, we're gonna release a special stout or something like that, or
Man, like we don't plan that far.
yeah,
We should plan that far ahead. We're like, well, we got a tank for you. You've always wanted to brew that seltzer, right?
Yeah. We never have a tank free.
We never have a tank free anymore.
And you guys contract, which is good too. So you're trying to spread the loveliness of beer.
No, we used to contract at other places.
Okay.
Like we don't contract our tanks anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We don't have the space for that.
And we
Barely.
haven't.
Yeah, I mean, your fermenters are huge from what I saw. Just walking along, like, oh my god, these things are gigantic. So you have, it's almost like 2 levels on 1 level here. So you guys have the space, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I have another question for you guys today. Let the people know where they can find you if they're visiting Toronto, your physical location, and then all your social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're in Toronto, come down here to the Canary District. We're at 484 Front Street East. If you don't want to come here, but you still want our beer, go to longslice.com. You can buy all our beer. You can buy swag, some specialty foods from like the kitchen at the Aviary. It's next day delivery. It's free. It's the minimum like $20, but like it's like a 6-pack you got to buy. I don't know. And we'll bring it right to you, or we'll bring it as a gift to your craft beer drinking friend. If you want to check us out on social, at Instagram, we are Longslice. Facebook, search Longslice. And then on Twitter, Longslice was taken. So we're Longslice Brews on Twitter. So, yeah.
Who took Longslice?
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Should find them. We're going to coming after you.
Buy them out.
Yeah.
Awesome. So everything will be in the show notes that you can see at the bottom of the interview. As for us, you can find us allbeerinside.com for the webpage, at allbeerinside everywhere else on social media. And as I say at the end of all episodes, drink craft, not crap.